it's on a delay. Yeah. We might as well be live. No, actually, technically, I'm live. Like, we are streaming. If someone's watching on YouTube channel, they can see. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll put that on the wall. Yeah. Look at my phone.
All right, there's our 30-second intro, and welcome back, THP. It's your boy Illiterate here with my man Big Soil joining us as a special guest, and
what's up, THP?
My partner, as always, JDax.
What's going on? What's going on, guys?
Tell me about this course. I saw a ton of beautiful pictures out there. It looked, a lot of just picturesque views. Tell me what your thoughts are on the course.
I mean, for me, the views could not be – they were breathtaking. I mean, like with the canyons in the background, and it's a canyon course, and you have mountains in the background, and there's a lot of different elevation changes. And the canyon is sort of carved into that course where it works out really well. It comes into play on a lot of holes. But I thought it was, as far as the courses that I've played besides the Hideaway, I'd put it right up there.
Yeah, it's a high desert, so you do have a lot more, ground and elevation, and a lot of natural little interesting things to build a golf course around. It was pretty wild. Got a lot of bogged down golf carts going down some of those grades today.
Yes, absolutely.
Like you had to hang on to some because the brakes were getting thrown off.
Yeah.
So talk to me about Soil. I'll start with you, but any holes that stood out to you? Which one you felt like maybe gave you the most trouble, and what was your favorite hole?
Oh man, the whole back nine, pretty much. That back nine was phenomenal.
Yeah,
that's when you get back over closer to the mountain ranges back behind the course. You have those incredible views. There's more of the canyons and gorges that run through, and I mean, it's an excellent layout on the back of that course. The whole course is pure, The fairways are great. The bunkers are kept. The greens are nice. I mean, the whole course was
How fast do you think the greens were running?
What, stem?
Yeah.
10.5.
10?
10,
Yeah,
10.5.
10-ish.
Nothing crazy? Okay.
Nothing crazy, no. BL.
For the pin placements.
Oh, there were some Sunday pins.
There were some tricky pins. There was definitely some tricky pins out there.
They're on the par 3 on the back, number 12, where we had the close to the pin contest. Yeah. That was just
a tough pin.
Yeah, that was just a handful of paces off the back.
Maybe
edge.
four or five on.
Yeah,
off the back. And
wow. And there's a ridge that runs through the middle of that, and anything you hit left of that ridge toward that pin is going to go left. Okay. So if you land on the ridge, you could end up off the back still.
Wow.
You had to land it almost from the pin to the very left edge of that island hanging out there.
Jeez.
Yeah, and there's the ball, like you needed to, if the ball, you couldn't carry it all the way to the flag because we saw a lot of shots come in.
The greens were firm
and hit and then go off the back of that particular hole. But yeah, I mean that hole was tough.
I had one all over it Saturday, and it ended up on the back.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I think like it's a shame that the contest was over before we got to the back today. Because that finishing stretch from about 14 in, if you could have had matches that were close and that were tied at any juncture, any way, shape, or form, you definitely could have seen some points being stolen and a lot of other things happen because that finishing stretch is not only is it gorgeous, but it is tough.
Well, on our match on Saturday, round one.
Yeah.
I mean, we were almost dead. We were 3 down
before
and we got to those that probably 14, 15, 16, 17 and started having and chipping away, got back to 1 down.
Y'all were 1 down on 18, right?
Going into 18.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to see, even though the competition ended early with Hudson and Zach winning 2 up in that first match, and then the other match was 3-2, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But besides 2 matches, every single match went to the 18th hole with a chance to either be won or halved. This entire event, besides 2, and so it's very important that we, like I said last night, we could have been in a situation where it was way closer if a couple of breaks had gone Team Noel's way rather than Team Zach's. But I mean, Team Zach did the job. They went out in the morning and emphatically won both of those matches. And then, after the morning section, it was 6-0, and we didn't even really, they had some side action going on that back 9 match, but it wasn't. There's multiple club testing going on, multiple balls being hit. And it went on like that. But for me, you asked me some of my favorite holes. 2 was one of my favorite holes because the reason that a lot of these matches started off like 2 up is because at hole 2, very rarely did Team Zach was not popping on that hole.
That's a par 3, right?
Yes, the short is about 155-yard par 3.
Yeah.
Canyon surrounding.
Well, the yardage is a little longer, but it plays short because it's it's down there.
Yeah, I mean, there's an elevation change. I guess if you'd have like, looked at it, it was like 165, but it didn't play that. It probably played, I think, 150-ish.
Yeah, I think it was shooting in the low 160s, and it was playing about 155.
Yeah.
153.
So Team Noel popped on that hole in every match.
Oh, wow.
They basically won that hole.
So in our groups, we made par and 2 birdies net.
Yeah. Wow. The other hole of interest is the scene of the crime, hole 4. It's called Temptation, and right here, hopefully they can see this. This is Temptation. Hole 4. Temptation, yes. And there was a lot of weird things that occurred on this hole. There was a lot of playing from native areas on this hole. There was a lot of, in fact, I know
the right. There's a couple pictures on the forum.
Yeah. I mean, Chef was in the native area.
Turn back around and that fence up there.
Yes.
On the right edge.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all over the place.
In that general area.
Yeah.
It wasn't the prettiest golf at times.
But. No, it was not. But there was a lot of matches that swung on this short par 5 because a lot of times in the shamble formats, at least, there was a chance that you could go for this at 2. And most of the teams attempted it, and a lot of times it left them in that 3rd shot in a whole lot of trouble. And I know for a fact that there are 2 wedges that have chunks out of them for shots that occurred on this hole from native area.
All right. So before we get into the equipment discussion, let me just ask you guys, what was it like getting to hang out with Noel and Zach?
Oh, they were phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, anybody that's, in case you hadn't heard, the event's coming back next year.
Yeah.
Anybody that's on the fence about it.
Right. Get your Albatross Club membership in. Let's get this going.
It's something you need to look at.
Yeah, I mean, they were great,
and they were into it as much as the THP participants were.
Yeah, and they really wanted to. I mean, they wanted to win. This wasn't like, hey, we're just like glad to be here. Both of them were uber competitive, and both of them wanted to win their matches. It's just like I said before, Team Zach, they just did a better job closing out matches.
Okay,
and they didn't let holes get away.
No,
no. We let holes get away from us that We should have.
Okay.
And it swung a couple of matches, and they just did a better job of not letting those holes get away.
Was it hole 4 again? It was hole 4 an alternate shot where your alternate shot match swung on that hole too.
Yeah, because we didn't play that the best.
No, and Hudson had to drop. Zach was in the garbage. They had to take an unplayable. It was in the hazard. So, Hudson had to drop and hit 3 and try to dump it down there. And they ended up having the hole with a triple. It was either a double or a triple.
No, it was a double.
Yeah, it was. They had both teams had made absolute carnage of that hole, and the fact that hole got halved really changed the momentum of that alternate shot match yesterday afternoon. So yeah,
nice. So before we get into the equipment real quick, what is this I hear about Dax's next combo set?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think, we're trying to get old Dax here back on Team Srixon.
Yeah, I mean,
just throw the hat on there, bud.
I mean, I do. I mean, I got multiple Srixon hats here, by the way. I mean, this is one of my favorites.
I think you should just keep changing out.
Yeah, the
black and pink solid.
The black and pink's pretty solid.
I think that's the illiterate special.
I know. I don't know why illiterate does not have this hat.
I do have this hat, and I can go get it to prove it.
Okay, well, no, I mean we're streaming for anyone that but I've only have 6 subscribers to my YouTube channel, so I'm assuming that once they got the notification that I've gone live, they're not live with this stuff. But I will say this: I didn't get. Of course, I didn't play, I got to cover it I covered the event, and I hope that everyone was able to follow along with the coverage I was trying to bring. But I did sneak a couple swings.
Yeah,
I did every now and then sneak a couple swings.
You pured
I pured a Z Forge 7 iron.
Yeah,
and I hit one and pured it, and then came back and told JB I think I may be able to combo this. Potential.
So you're going Z Forge 785 combo set, huh?
Yeah. What Dax didn't know about that was that Hudson and JB were standing there talking, along with myself. And JB watches Dax hit this pure 7 iron, looks over at Hudson and says, he's going to come back here and say that he can game that club.
Let me just say, since I got to talk to the most of the participants on the range, trying to feel out how they were feeling about the equipment, the H85 hybrid got high praise.
Yeah, from the fairway wood was really, but to be fair, with some of the yardages we were playing about 6,400, and it's kind of a target golf course for a lot of the guys at that yardage.
Sure,
they were in heavy rotation.
Yeah, there was a lot of less than driver. Even if you watch some of the videos that I shot, there was a lot of less than drivers off the tee. We tried to show hitting the driver, so usually we were filming par 5s, but they did hit. No one laid up to a number on a par 5 for Wade's World out there. No one did that. But there was heavy praise for that hybrid, heavy praise for the fairway, and I know for a fact that Jay Wrangler told me that the favorite club that he had in his entire bag was the U85 4-iron.
Yeah.
He said it was by far his favorite club. Of all of the 14 clubs that he got, he said, "This is the favorite club."
13.
Yeah, for him, yeah. It was the only problem with any of the ordering was that we were missing a 56-degree wedge out of one of the bags, and that was it. But it was a phenomenal job of the Srixon people to get all of those orders right and the shafts right and the whole 9 yards. What did you think about? That's what I heard. I know for a fact that Hudson loves the Z forged irons. In fact, he just carried his bags back to his room a minute ago. He still has the plastic on the 4 and the 6 iron of the top of that bag and he only hit the 5 iron on the range, if that tells you anything. So he didn't even hit in competition a 785 iron. He just had those Z Forged, and he loved them. In fact, he's going to replace the top of the bag 4, 5, and 6 with the Z Forged irons.
Nice.
That's how much he liked them. What did you think about your equipment?
Oh, I mean, I love my bag.
So, I mean, Soil was playing the previous gen irons, and now he's got, this gen irons. I mean, what are your thoughts between the two sets from last year to the previous year to this year?
I really think the new 785 has a little softer feel to it, honestly. Okay. I mean, and it's hard to tell. I mean, I would say the distance is pretty similar because it's the same profile club, a lot of mass behind the ball. So, and the lofts are basically the same. So, distance-wise, there's not going to be a change. But, I mean, I think they changed a little bit of CG. And it's got such a nice feel to it.
I mean, I was still a little disappointed as we got their gear together that no one had 585s for me to just take the 7-iron and go take some rips with that, because that club
you should have taken my U85 6-iron.
Oh, the U85 6-iron. What did you think of that U85 6-iron, Soil?
It was pretty good, really. I mean, I was a little hesitant about it. And, I mean, I might go ahead and order a 785 6-iron just to see how the bag gaps out between the two, just to see what works out best for me in the long run.
But you didn't have to hit the no one really hit the top of that bag all that much.
No, not a whole lot. I mean, I used the U85s a couple of times, laying up on some par 5s to a number.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I used a U85 4-iron on a couple of tee shots, on a couple of the more the shorter target holes.
Okay. Now, didn't you tell me you outdrove BL once, Soil?
Oh yeah, that was my shot of the weekend. Really, it might have been the shot of the year.
Of the year, maybe.
Shot of the year. And so
BL played really, really good. Just ask. Okay.
I mean, is this BL the whole weekend or post dump BL?
No, look, post dump BL is far superior to pre dump BL. Like pre dump BL, Hudson and him were having issues in that match, and they were not getting along very well.
Hold that up there. Okay, it was on this hole here. Playing for the Blues, 424. Right there where it says about 76 yards.
Okay. So you hit about 350.
We were both just a little short of that. I had about 90 yards in. He had 100 yards in.
Nice.
That's impressive.
You got him by 10 yards. I got him by 2 at the championship. I love it.
Yeah.
There's another out BL reference. I mean, do you want to talk about your 29 on the back 9 at Talking Stick?
I mean, who else can say they shot 63 on a major? The final day of a major and won. Oh, that was Sorry,
I did.
Me and my partner.
Yeah, you didn't shot yourself out of the turn.
We shot a 62.
Miller on you.
I'd shot myself out of it on Saturday.
Okay, just can we move on to this competition?
Well, talk to me about post dump BL again. I mean, did they have to call Serve Pro? I mean, what happened?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, people. Well, you want to point to like a turning point in the entire competition. I mean, I hate to say this, but it was the dump that BL took at the turn of match 1 that turned this entire thing around, because up until that point, BL had not been playing well. Hudson had really been carrying that team, and he was downright frustrated with him.
Yeah,
he's able to.
More frustrated at this event or the championship, the THP championship.
No, I mean, the Hudson and BL pairing was not
it wasn't the bromance that we thought it was going to be. I mean,
on the front nine.
On the front line. But when BL was able to expel roughly 20 pounds of shellfish and butter from his system, and
did the group behind him have to play through? I mean, what happened?
No, I mean, it was relatively quick.
When you got a
BL
gallon of butter
right, I mean,
in
like,
your system.
oh my! Listen,
All right,
we have to just move on. But yeah, I mean, I think the MVP, the as far as gameplay goes, the MVP of the event is post dump BL. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the competition a little bit. And Big Squirrel, you already kind of hinted on it, but your best shot you feel like was the driver on 17, where you out BL by 10 yards. Any other shot that you feel like with the iron or wedge you just really liked? Putter?
I mean, all I can think about is that drive right now.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, it wasn't. I mean, this was not the big soil that we saw at the championship.
No, it wasn't. It
wasn't holing out 9 irons from one.
I mean, it was sometimes soil. It was struggle bus soil. I mean, it
was not great.
There was flashes of some really good golf shots, but not enough together. But yeah, that drive on 17, you'll always remember that.
Well, who wouldn't?
Yeah, I mean, who would? I mean, because Mike's still talking about something that happened at like a driving range
at the Ping headquarters.
right.
Hey, I got to get it where I can, man, because everybody's talking about BL swing. I mean,
hey, but I know that life. That's what I'm saying. Right.
Right.
Now you know, and you can talk about it anytime you ever come on this video, and you can throw shots on the forum. It's wonderful, and BL's what about. So, Dax, what was the best shot you saw?
Okay, there's a couple that I saw that were really good. Before I give you like the shots, I will say this: Jay Wrangler, like it wasn't so much the shots; it was the steadiness of this guy. And
yeah, he didn't miss a whole lot until the back 9
today. Right. But when it counted, he made multiple 5-footers to either have or win holes when they had to have it. In the matches that he had,
what do you have? 205 in on number 1.
Yeah.
And put it on the green.
Right. And just flushed it.
With his 4 U85?
Yeah. That's
U85 4-iron?
The U85s again, man. There was the best shot of yesterday. The shot that Hudson hit that was from BL's drive was great.
Yeah.
Because I mean he just hit it in there so tight, it was like within 2 feet. I think it was on the 17th hole or something. Yeah. So on the 17th hole, when that match was square, and then Hudson jarred one in there and they made the putt, and then they took a 1-up lead. It was the only time. It's the first time that entire match that they had actually led the match. And then on 18 yesterday, BL, that is a tough second shot. You cannot miss left, and the wind normally blows from right to left. Like it blows into the trouble. And if you miss anywhere on the left side of the green, it's going to roll into the water. And BL stuck it with a half point. If they would have won the match, they would have if Team No Will would have won the hole, they would have had that match. And he stuck it to 8 feet. Today, I'm going to go back to BL. On a shot that's been discussed at length on the forum on hole
4, right?
On hole no, I don't know if it was hole 4.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, okay, my bad. Hole 4. And dude, I mean, there's not many people from where I saw him get up and down from. There's not many people that could do this shot
right there.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if you come back here, it's like right over here. Like he was well over here, and
laying 2 from there.
Yeah, I mean laying 2 because I mean, like I said, it's called Temptation. The hole's called Temptation, and it's a risk reward sort of par 5. You can lay up to a number and try to put it on,
and the pin all the way, across the green.
Yes, I mean he had.
The shelf was
this. He's in absolute jail. Like this is jail. And I posted a picture of the wedge, but this shot was a golf shot. And he ends up somehow sticking it from jail to 7 feet. He 2-putts from there. The hole's half. So those were the best shots I saw all weekend.
Soil, any shot that sticks out in your mind that you saw someone else hit, while you were playing?
Yeah, I mean, the one that BL shot out of jail there, that was
that one.
That was huge. That was
two of the best shots.
That sort of turned it stopped any sort of momentum of that match.
Yeah.
So any chance of that match even being won probably evaporated with that shot. So it was a big shot in a big moment. So I mean, hats off to him.
But that's kind of what Team Zach did all weekend. They just closed.
I mean, they were close. The people are going to look at this and say, okay, yeah, Team Zach jumped up 6-0 and we didn't get any more. We didn't score out the matches because there was some side sauce going on and a couple other things. And there was supposed to be best ball in the back and people were still playing shamble. It didn't really matter. So the 6 matches, it was 6-0, but this could have easily been like 4-2 the other way. Like, I mean, it's just that in the finishing stretches of holes, Team Zach consistently closed better. Like the match won yesterday. Hudson birdies 17, BL birdies 18. They win the match 2-up. That match was all square going into 16. So very similar thing in the next match, which y'all were trying to grind a half. Both approaches missed left on the left-hand side of 18, which is
because we had been – that back is tough, and we had been 3 down.
Yeah, for most of that
and you got it back to just where you're 1 down with a chance to have, right?
Right. Yeah.
They come all the way back with a chance to have, and then really it was the second shot into 18 where they both missed left and into the water, and it was over.
Yeah.
Wow. And now they lost that match 2-up. Then you go into alternate shot. It was a grind. Like I felt like Noel. Unfortunately or fortunately for whoever, because everyone loves Happy Hudson. That's what Happy Hudson's the best Hudson. But she played Hudson every match. Somehow how it drew up, and somehow some of the parents drew up. So yeah, this competition was way closer than it ever looked on paper.
So speaking of the pairings real quick, how did we not get the Chef Soil versus BL Huddy match that we were clamoring about, like on the forum and in this video before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that I mean, it's not so much. It's not a negative at all, and it just goes to show you how much the captains were into this event.
Yeah,
they wanted to put out their pairings that they thought had a legitimate chance of getting points for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a byproduct of the math, because that J Wrangler BL pairing mitigated any sort of pop advantage of any pairing that Noel could have put together and thrown out there against them. And so what it looked like that Zach had decided after he had put BL and Hudson out there together first.
Yeah.
He had decided that he was just going to eat the pops and take Hudson with him. And in that sort of in this small of an event, when you've only got 2 groups going, I mean that's going to happen. I wish I would have saw it. I think it would have been a lot of fun. But last night Noel was still trying to figure out, how do I win all 4 of these points and how do I force a playoff? And that is why she went out with Chef this morning. She felt it gave her best chance.
I saw her on Twitter trying to rally the troops last night.
She was trying to rally them, man. She tried to rally all hard.
So, Soil, what was your favorite format to play in this event?
I mean, Shamble's always fun. It's just a fun, relaxed format, really. You get to go out there and try to, pound a drive or get one in play and then go after one.
Yeah.
Gives you a little bit of flexibility, takes a little pressure off. But, alt shots always keeps it interesting.
My favorite was alternate shot because those matches were all close. The pressure of alternate shot, the swings, especially in nine-hole match, like a nine-hole alternate shot match, things can happen really quick,
and there's nowhere to hide.
Right? Yeah, I mean, yeah. And the thing about alternate shot is that you can't hide. It exposes you for who you are, and so it tells you a lot about yourself and a lot about your game.
So did you tell me that there was like a hole that got halved with doubles during alternate shot? Or triple?
Probably multiple.
Multiple, but the one I was thinking about was the whole 4. Again, we're going to come back to 4 because it was a pivotal hole and most matches were played on the front. But yeah, his alternate shot match was halved with a double on that hole. And Zach missed a 6-footer for bogey to win the hole into the desert.
After he had exchanged putters overnight, it seems like the new one didn't do him any good either, huh? Or this was day one, right? This was
day one.
Maybe that contributed to the putter.
He played way better today.
Yeah, we had a putter change and a grip change.
Right, yeah, we had a grip change immediately after the first day. Like Hudson took the Uber from the golf course to the PGA Superstore. They left their clubs there overnight. Hudson grabs the putter and goes, "I'm getting an Uber." Ubers to the Superstore, gets the putter grip originally that he had ordered off of that putter and changes it out. It didn't help. Here's the thing: no one made any putts like of substance, like to like.
I mean, that's almost.
I mean, I saw Noel walk one in today, like Kevin Na.
Yeah, I mean, like usually we see a lot more footage of like big putts being made, and you know,
and a lot of times, especially with the guys like BL, Chef, Noel, Zach, Hudson, you know,
yeah, they all are decent putters.
You expect them to go out and make some 12 to 15 footers.
Yeah,
and it just didn't happen.
No one made putts.
Wow.
I mean, I think there was maybe 2 putts made over 12 to 15
feet.
foot.
Well, no, I mean, after the longest putt I saw made was by the Animal.
That was a bag 9 today when we were.
Yeah, I mean, this was after the competition was over.
Yeah.
I mean, he like with authority like ran a 40-footer in.
Yeah.
After it was over, like and walked it in. Like it was on. He just started walking it, and then I looked at JB. I said, he just made that,
and it broke probably 4 feet.
It's great. It was great. It was the best putt I saw all week. It was after the competition was over.
Love it. Yeah. So, any stories, you know, about what happened in Vegas at the tables? I mean, anything, any insight hanging out with the rest of the crew? I mean, what do you got for me?
A lot of us have really early morning flights. It's tough. I mean, they played 27.
Yeah.
I mean, in the heat, and then you go to dinner, you get meat sweats. I mean, most of this group is. Here's the thing: there's not really like any great like hangover-esque type stories because most of this groups are degenerate. We're degenerates. So what we want to do is gamble, and unfortunately for us, we're like in the place to do that. And so what you'll see is like long gambling sessions that end in, okay, we got to go play golf now. That's really the only, like, we have one more night left. Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, as we film this, it's only 6 o'clock, 6:30 something.
6:31 here.
6:31 here. So we still have one night left to make some memories happen.
We got about 12 hours until
make some memories.
Yeah. I mean, I fly out in 12 hours. So Hudson flies out in 12 hours. There's a very good possibility that we're just going to roll straight through. Okay. We're going to take a nap here in a second after this video, and then we're just going to roll straight through, people.
Love it. So before we kind of cut this one off here, tell me about the special announcement, surprise announcement.
Yeah. I mean, that was cool. That was cool this morning.
It's coming back.
So, yeah, the special announcement this morning was not only is this event coming back for the THP event calendar next year, it's probably going to be later in the cycle and later on the calendar, but the person that reviews the equipment the best gets to come back, gets their ticket punched back into Distance powered by Srixon next year, And the second best reviewer out of the 6 gets a year's supply of golf balls.
Nice.
I mean, how awesome is that? And so, yeah, this should be right near the top of your. There's some great events coming this year, but not everyone can get into everything because there's so many people that sign up. Just if this interests you, make sure you renew your Albatross Club. Make sure that you're around for the signups of this because this was a phenomenal event, and I didn't even play.
No. True. You hit a few balls.
I hit a few balls. I'm thinking of a combo set, but I did not. I did not play in the event. I did not play in the event.
I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. If you game a set of Z-Forged irons, I want to be there in person for that round.
Are you going to wager an uncomfortable amount of money on that, Mike?
Hey, whatever makes him uncomfortable. And I just want to be there to say I saw the meltdown.
No, but it was great. On a serious note, this is something new that JB had a great idea, came up with, allowing me to come out and sort of cover the event for the forum. But I had a blast. These guys had a blast. You could not have asked for a better sponsor or better people than Zach and Noel. And if they're coming back to this event next year, this is a must sign up for.
And I think it was. I think the live thread was pretty well received.
Yeah,
during the coverage.
Yeah, sure. I mean, especially during when the matches were, when the event was the competition portion of it was still in doubt. There was times where you had 400 plus people in the thread, asking questions, watching what was going on. So, yeah, hopefully y'all liked what y'all saw, and I'm just glad to have been a part of it.
Yeah, great job, you guys. Guys that were playing, and great job to you, Dax, for covering. My apologies, we couldn't make it work last night, but Dax did a killer job covering it by himself yesterday. But any final thoughts before we close this out?
I mean, it's been a great weekend. Great gear, great THPers,
great people,
great brand.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like Kevin and I are the only 2 guys missing from our Buffalo Wild Wings picture at the ship. I mean, what's going on here?
That is true. You and Kev, man. Well, you know what? Maybe next year, because one of these cats is going to review the gear and come back. Maybe the reunion's on for next year.
Yeah, the reunion.
Just make sure you sign up, Mike.
I'll sign up again. I signed up this year, brother.
I know.
We know.
All right. Well, I guess we'll call it quits here, but. For that's it for us, THP. Sign up, renew your Albatross Club membership if you want to get into events like this. Dax, great job on the coverage. Soil, awesome job this week. Good playing, sir. And for Soil, Dax, myself, see you guys next time.